What's up my Shinigamis, my Hollows, my Quincy's? Jamesito's back with another video. If you're up to date with Bleach, you'll know that Ichigo is basically a mixture of every single thing, which makes it no surprise as to why Aizen was interested in seeing Ichigo's progression. However, for this video, I'll be discussing the top 5 hints that gave a clue or indication that Ichigo was a Quincy before it was officially revealed. Number 5. I am Zangetsu. For years in the series, fans were always left wondering what Hollow Ichigo or White actually was. We knew he was a Hollow that wished to supposedly devour and take over Ichigo's soul, and he seemed to be a separate entity to Old Man Zangetsu altogether. But later on in the series, as Ichigo's strength began to progress, White started to make more of an appearance, to the point where Old Man Zangetsu suddenly vanished and White was stating that he in fact was Zangetsu.
That isn't Zangetsu! I keep saying that I am Zangetsu!
We now know that is because White indeed is Ichigo's real Zanpakuto and is a manifestation of his Shinigami and Hollow powers melded into one, whereas the Old Man Zangetsu was a manifestation of Yuha, or in other words, Ichigo's Quincy powers, that slowly began to subside as Ichigo started to use his Bankai more and more. Number 4. Blutvene used against Kenpachi. If you recall Ichigo's fight with Kenpachi in the Soul Society arc, you remember that Ichigo was on the verge of losing that fight, with Kenpachi stabbing Ichigo through the chest and proceeding to walk away disappointed in the premature outcome, virtually leaving Ichigo for dead. That is until Quincy Zangetsu intervenes by stopping time using Yuha's shadow powers, and then using the defensive form of an advanced Quincy technique called Blut, or more specifically Blutvene, which grants the user inhumane durability and aids the user against critical wounds that have already been inflicted by stopping the severe loss of blood. At the time, everyone was unaware that this was a Quincy technique and simply put it down to plot armor. Number 3. Hirenkyaku. Hirenkyaku is described as an advanced movement technique used by the Quincy's, just how Soul Reapers use Shunpo and Aranka use Sonido. It is used by controlling the reishi around and focusing it underneath one's feet to stand. When Ichigo goes to Hueco Mundo through the Garganta Urahara created, they have to travel through an empty void, and thus needed to use Hirenkyaku to advance. Ichigo is shown using the technique, albeit very poorly, as he has never really had very good control of his spiritual pressure, whilst on the other hand Uryu uses an altered version of Hirenkyaku to create some sort of hoverboard. Number 2. Sclaverai, used to absorb Hollow Ichigo. This high-level Quincy technique uses the most basic ability to gather reishi in the most powerful way, by enslaving it. It can literally tear away the components that make up spiritual objects, such as those that make up Hueco Mundo and Soul Society, as well as the bodies of spiritual beings. When the body of a spiritual being is being affected by this power, Quincy can literally assume the characteristics and associated capabilities of his victim. This is what Tensa Zangetsu did to Hollow Ichigo right before Ichigo's fight with Aizen. Number 1. Ichigo has power to give abilities like Yuha. Every being has a unique latent ability. Shinigamis, Hollows, and even Quincy's. In regards to the Quincy's, their powers were given by Yuha and the shrift or letter he wrote on Quincy's souls. When Yuha found Hashwolf, he explained that every 2 centuries or so, Quincy was born that couldn't gather reishi and use it as a weapon, but that those Quincy had the ability to enhance the powers of others by sharing pieces of his own soul with them. This was something Yuha himself could do, but above all, Yuha said that no Quincy was ever born with the same powers as he, that the ability to share his soul but also write a letter on the soul of others, thus giving them the ability he wanted them to have, was something he alone could do. Because Ichigo was Shinigami, Holo, and Quincy, some have theorized for years that Ichigo never showed any special ability because he never gave himself one. As Yuha was the one that gave himself the Almighty, it fell upon Ichigo to give himself his own ability. Ichigo was indeed born a special Quincy, like no other, seeing as he was also part Shinigami and Holo. So then it stands, he had not only all of Yuha's powers, but more, as in he is able to grant powers to beings other than just Quincy's. Chad's powers were stated to have been closer to that of a Holo's. Aizen had mistakenly believed that it was the Hogyoku's will that manifested powers into Ichigo's friends, like Chad and Orihime, all despite being sealed by Urahara and being sealed inside Rukia's Gigai. But if this was truly the case, a lot more of Ichigo's classmates would have manifested powers due to the Hogyoku granting their inner desires. But we only see Ichigo's close friends gain power because it was actually Ichigo who granted them their powers, without him even realizing. This is proven by the fact that Ikumi Unagiya from the Fullbring arc has developed spiritual powers due to being around Ichigo, together with the fact that she was never in close proximity to the Hogyoku at all. Massive shout out to you guys, thanks for listening. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to check out some of my other anime theory videos that you see over here. And also expect new content on your feed real soon. Peace out.